Yoon tapped her pen on the desk absent-mindedly, her fingers moving on her own, not really caring about the whole chaos occurring in the classroom. It was normal day since the teacher had not arrived yet. The classroom more looked like a fish market, where the boys are throwing things at each other playfully, and girls are gossiping and laughing at the jokes that are made. She is the class president after all, and she had a reputation for being able to control any situation with grace. She was known for her confident, cold demeanor, always in control, always in charge. But today was different. Today she felt out of sync with her usual self. Her heart was quite heavy from the thing she couldn't point her finger on. Suddenly something hit her head and she closed her eyes tightly at the impact. Her jaw clenched as the class was silent in a second. They all know how she is, and messing with the class president would never end up good. For a few moments, Yoon didn't react. She simply sat there, her eyes closed, until the voice spoke behind her. Sorry, Yoon, it was a mistake. It was not intentional. Her jaw clenched tighter, and she knew that was absolutely intentional. She has ears and can clearly listen to the laughter they were controlling behind her. But she didn't turn around. I will give you 5 seconds. Take the ball and get out from the class right now. Her voice was cold, as was her reputation, and she didn't need to say it twice, as she saw the boy already picking up the ball that hit her and ran out of the class. Seconds later, the teacher walked in, and the students scrambled to their seats. Her eyes immediately fixed on the boy that quietly walked behind the teacher. The same boy that had captured her heart. The only boy that had affected her in a way that her cold demeanor melted in no time. The mute boy that doesn't speak a word, but his eyes held thousands of emotions hidden behind it. Her eyes softened as it met his, completely forgetting the chaos that happened seconds ago. But he was quick to break eye contact as he made his way towards her bench and sat beside her, placing the bag. Hey, her voice was soft, not like before, not like her whole nature changes within a second. But Jungkook is still not used to this kind of attention or affection from anyone. He didn't look up at her, and you know he was not expressive one. Both are opposite nature, but she noticed something unusual. What happened to you? He didn't give any response, and Yoon brows forward. He usually don't ignore her like this. Why are you late today? She asked another question, but his gaze was fixed on the book he just took out from his bag. Is something wrong? He finally shook his head, giving in finally, as he insists so much, and he better know her that she won't give up until she got her answer. His eyes met her for a second before looking away, and he knew something is wrong, definitely. Look at me. He didn't, but a stubborn boy, and she knew how to handle his stubbornness. Miss Yoon raised her hand, and teacher turned around to look her with questioning gaze. Jungkook is not feeling well. Can I take him to the nurse? She said, and his eyes widened. All the students looked in their direction, and the teacher nodded. Alright, go. Yoon stood up, collecting her things. Jungkook quietly followed her out of the classroom, knowing she is not the one. He can hide his emotion. 5 months when Jungkook transferred at this university, and he was always a shy introvert hiding in the library so no one find him. He don't want to get the target of bully, but well, his effort was in vain since the problem loves him and follow him everywhere. But then he don't know how Yoon, the girl he never expected, would talk to him and even want to stay beside him. But to his surprise, she did. She was the first one to become his friend. Well, friends, not anymore though. What are they? As they moved down the hallway, Yoon turned him, folding her arms. Now, will you tell me what's wrong? He shook his head, indicating no, and Yoon narrowed her eyes. Are you sure? And what the hell happened to your face? She finally noticed a small cut near his eyebrow, and Jungkook knew when not to push her button further. So he started to use his hands, since Yoon learned sign language just for him, which he was surprised and quite flustered. I was practicing in the dance room and fell down. And you want me to believe that? She raised her eyebrow and Jungkook bit his lips. How did she even got to know he was lying? How do she even read him like an open book? During practice, one of the guys got excessive and pushed me. That's how I got the cut. Jungkook could feel his nerves prickle as her face hardened, and when he finally admitted to what happened, he knew that he couldn't hide the truth from her. Alright, we are going to the principal office before we go to the nurse. Jungkook immediately shook his head, his finger tightening around her hand, trying to stop her. I already took care of that, and our dance teacher punished him. You narrowed her eyes, clearly not convinced by his explanation. She saw the nervousness in his eyes and she leaned back from her gaze. As far as I know, your dance teacher is absent today. Caught in another lie, Jungkook let out a sigh and signed back to her. I don't want to complain about anyone, it just occurred. Shut up, Jungkook, we are going to the principal office. He knew she was doing it out of concern, but he didn't want to cause any problem. He signed with a small smile. Well, it's not like I can argue back, can I? Eunice coughed, grabbing his hand as she took him to the principal office. This is not the first time boys try to bully him, show their dominance over him. It's not like Jungkook can't fight back, but he's too good for this world since he wants to stay out of any problem that come to his way. But you know better, the student will let him breathe, so she is the one with him all along, and not let anyone near him. Jungkook was peacefully sitting alone at the corner of the rooftop. He preferred rooftop silence than the classroom chaos since the teacher is absent. He sat there lost in his thought, but his pace soon disrupted when the rooftop door slammed shut, making him flinch in surprise. He turned his head, his doe eyes wide with shock and his heart raced as he heard footsteps approaching. Did they found him here too, or are they going to bully him again? But his scared thoughts vanished when he heard muffled sobs. Jungkook started towards the source of the sound, and he saw a girl sitting alone, her shoulders trembling as she cried quietly. He was not sure if she noticed his presence there as he remained silent, contemplating whether he brought her or gave her the space she needed. He decided to leave quietly, thinking it would be best to give her some privacy. He picked up his bag and started to take slow, deliberate steps to ensure she didn't notice his presence. But luck was not on his side. His foot stumbled over a crushed dustbin, and he lost his balance, falling onto his butt with a loud thud. Great. He winced in pain, but his eyes widened when he saw the foot standing in front of him, and he slowly looked up and saw his class president standing in front of him, looking cold as ever with zero expression on her face. He slowly got to his feet, his cheeks turning slightly pink from the embarrassment of his clumsy fall, but she was still looking at him with a cold expression on her face, probably asking why was he there, and falling like a pigeon. He couldn't speak, so he sighed in panic, telling her that he was not spying on her. I won't tell anyone. He waited and waited, but she, looking at his hand and then back to his face, clearly not understanding anything. Alright, you don't understand sign language. He sighed again, but then facepalmed himself, realizing he's making her more confused because she can't understand anything, looking at him now with that weird expression. Great, Jungkook. He searched for his mobile in his back pocket since he was new here. He can bet she don't know him. It was his third day here. But when he looked back at her face, she was looking like she will slap him or something. So without thinking much, he ran away from there in embarrassment. Great, he completely made fool out of himself in front of his class president. Jungkook poured his heart out soul into the dance class, his body drenched in sweat and his muscle itching from the intense physical workout. As he sat against the wall, he closed his eyes as he calmed his fast beating of his heart. Dance was more than a hobby for him. It was his passion and a way to express his emotion when words failed him. He got lost in practicing and feeling every emotion that he forgot all his insecurities. And some moments are like this where he felt completely helpless, where his insecurities get the best of him. Even he has talent, he wished he could speak. He wished he could convey in words what he had to say. Suddenly he felt a gentle tap on his shoulder and his eyes snapped open. Startled, he looked up to see Yoon sitting in front of him with a water bottle in her hand. "You did great," she said, smiling softly, and Jungkook's cheeks flushed slightly. She never leave any chance to compliment him. He took the water bottle from her hands, hiding his face in the process. But Yoon already noticed the redness of his hair. "You should take a break now, How about we go to cafeteria?" Jungkook shook his head. "No, I don't want to." He quickly signed back and Yoon sighed. She knew he's not really comfortable sitting around people. "And you want to hide in the library like always?" "I have no other way to go." "Fine, stay here, I'll be back." Before Jungkook could protest or respond, Yoon left his side. Jungkook watched her disappearing figure and sighed as he began to pack his things gracefully. After a while, Yoon returned with a tray of food, her presence catching Jungkook by surprise. He didn't expect her to come back with the food for him. "I thought you might change your mind. I brought you some food." She set the food in front of him. He felt warmth in his heart, knowing how much she cared for him. He was indeed lucky to have someone as caring and understanding her in his life. "Thank you." He sighed, and Yoon smiled softly as they started to eat. He glanced at her from time to time. "How was it?" she asked out of the blue, and Yoon knew she made it for him. Especially, she never cooked, but she tried for him. "It's so tasty. I should start eating canteen food because it's delicious." "That's not from the canteen though." Jung looked up at her in confusion, not quite understanding, but then he noticed her body language, and it was then he realized something. "You made it for me?" Yoon nodded slightly and he immediately looked down, a small smile playing. She does everything to make him feel special. Jungkook was following Yoon like a lost puppy in the morning. When Yoon was rushing to their morning class, her eyes fixed on the back of her head as she confidently walked while he was hesitant. She don't even know that he is behind her. Yoon stopped in her tracks near her locker. Jungkook noticed the scar on her face. He already knows she is in bad mood. From earlier, he didn't know what happened. Mostly, she don't talk with anyone, but today he heard she got into a fight. That's why he's following her. But she opened her locker, and that's when she noticed his presence. "Hi," he sighed, and her face lit up slightly, and she smiled warmly, a sigh that never failed to ease the knot in his stomach. "Were you still not in your class? I heard you got in a fight. Are you okay?" She sighed and she pulled her books out of the locker and gestured for Jungkook to do the same. So he would obligate, opening his locker, collecting his books. "Nothing, you don't have to worry about that." "What was the boy saying to you?" he asked when he overheard that she got involved in a fight with a boy and punched him. "He said some weird things, so I decided to teach him a lesson." She shrugged, downplaying the situation. In reality, she didn't want to tell Jungkook the reason behind the boy that had saying hurtful things about Jungkook and making fun of him because of his muteness. She didn't want Jungkook to hear those hurtful comments. "What kind of weird things?" he asked, and you look at him giving her a small smile, so he won't question further. "It's really nothing. You tell me when it's your dance class." She changed the topic successfully. Jungkook didn't say anything further as she started to question about his classes and everything. Jungkook was running late to his class. He was in a hurry, his mind racing as he tried to make it to the class on time. However, in his rush, he bumped into someone, causing both of them to fall on the ground. His eyes widened in surprise as he realized who was beneath him. It was none other than his class president, and her cold gaze locked onto his. His heart skipped a beat, and he nervously gulped, quickly getting to his feet. Jungkook extended his hand to help her up, but Yeon stood on her own, dusting her clothes. He felt a pang of embarrassment and was about to make a quick escape when he suddenly felt a firm grip on his back, pulling him back. He gulped again when he came face to face with her, her eyebrows raised. He still didn't forget the first, most awkward interaction in his life when he ran away from her on the rooftop. "You should watch where you're going." Jungkook fumbled for words, his nervousness causing his hands to shake slightly. He don't know why he's scared of her. He shouldn't be. but he's not really a fan of human interaction and the one in front of him is quite scary. So he quickly retrieved his phone from his pocket and began to typing a message. I'm sorry, I was in a hurry, I didn't mean to bump into you. This was their second introduction and it was not going any better than the first. He showed her the message and she followed her eyebrows in confusion, reading the message on the unknown phone. You don't know how to speak? The scowl on his face was evident and Jungkook nodded slightly in response, his anxiety growing even more at her facial expression. He couldn't meet her eyes because he is insecure about his disability. He tapped and showed the screen to her, and Yuna sudden, her grip on his back loosened, taken aback. Oh, I didn't knew that. She saw him tapping again. No, don't say sorry, it's okay. She read and looked up at him, processing, and then stepped back completely from him. From which department are you from? Jungkook's finger tapped on the phone screen as he replied, I'm from the arts department. Oh. She said as he was same department as her, then why didn't she notice him all along? I joined 4 days ago. She read again and nodded. Then let's go to the class, we are already late. Jungkook eased slightly, a little confused on her change of behavior as they walked back inside the class. Yoon and Jungkook were together in the cafeteria enjoying their lunch. Jungkook was with her as he was quite comfortable around her but not without her. Yoon insisted Jungkook to come with him one time in cafeteria and he did. Their peaceful lunch was abruptly interrupted when a group of girls and boys approached their table and occupied the empty chairs. Jungkook stopped at the sudden humans that surrounded them out of nowhere. 2 girls and 2 boys, the 2 of them are from Jungkook's class, but 2 of them are not. He looked at Yoon, who was looking at them with neutral expression, and he started to feel discomfort, but he was quick to hide it. Hey there, little cousin. The one girl spoke, looking at Yoon, and her jaw clenched, not responding to her. Jungkook looked at her, a little shocked that she was his cousin. Why are you all here? We wanted to talk about the prom, and what is that related to me? You are coming at the prom, right, cousin? Her cousin asked with honey-laced tone, and Yoon rolled her eyes. I don't think so, I don't think so, I have time. She replied back, not interested in the conversation with the girl whom she hated. Oh, so much attitude, don't suit you, listen, cousin. Jungkook was silently watching their exchange of words. His gaze remained on Yoon's clenched fist under the table. If you don't have anything constructive to say, then you can leave. No need to waste our time. Sorry, Gina, stop for a second. We are already here to talk about prom partner. Did you choose anyone? He asked Yoon, and she sighed. No, I didn't. I told you I'm not going there anyway. Come on, Yoon, it will be fun. And what's fun without class president, huh? I've already told you I'm not interested in attending the prom. Besides, I don't need to class president to have fun. She responded with a hint of annoyance in her voice, making it clear that she had no intention of changing her mind about the prom. But Yoon, you will regret it if you don't go. Do you want to have a great memories from the college? I already have great memories and they don't involve forced social events. Yoon was really running out of patience. Cousin, it will be fun, and besides you can choose a partner, everyone would be there. Okay, fine. So did you decide who will be a partner? No. Oh, and who is this Yoon? You didn't introduce him to us? She said, looking at Jungkook. Jungkook shifted in his place, not comfortable when the attention went to him. Who is he? Is none of your business. You two can go now. Oh, now I remember. He must be your partner, but a silent one. Her tone dripped with sarcasm, and Morgan's smile played on her lips. This is your cue to leave right now. You know I won't tolerate anyone insulting or mocking anyone related to me. But Gina was not finished. She leaned closer, her voice light with venom. Why do you even bother here? You know no one will be ever your partner, and it's cute that you found a mute boy to tag along. Did Daddy send you to college to hunt for stray puppies? And that's when your patience ran out. Yoon slammed her hands against the table, causing the juice to spill everywhere, creating a loud noise. You're not someone I can speak with normally. You seem to love being treated like a boy. And do you really want to forget the last time I did with you? Do you want me to burn your plastic beauty this time? Her eyes was now filled with rage as she glared at her cousin, who froze in her place. The cafeteria fell into a tense silence, and the people around them are staring. The same fight they witnessed between them months ago and when Gina provoked Yoon in front of everyone in hallway. And Yoon lost her patience. That time she punched her until her nose bled badly, making everyone guess and everyone know they have some beef inside their family. The two cousins who hate each other. They instructed four of them to leave the place because of humiliation. Some people love to humiliate others and make fun of their weakness.